Welcome everyone, I hope you're all having a fantastic week, and today we are going to have an excellent showdown between Captain Morgan as Nurgle going up against Cathay with WWD. Now we're going to be playing on the Darkland Mountain with a very interesting Nurgle build. Now if we go for Cathay, looking relatively usual, we are going to be having 2 units of the Great Longmars on the flanks, 5 units of the Jade Warrior Sword and Shield at the front lines, and 2 units of the Peasant Long Spearmen. Leading the force, we are going to have the Lord Choice, the Lord of Yin Magic, here with the Jade Amulet, Arcane Conduit, Will of the Dragons, and then also the Power of Yin, with the spells of the Ancestral Warriors, and then also the Talons of the Knights. So in the middle pocket, 4 units of the Jade Warrior Crossbows, and then also an Astromancer. The big bad boy on the battlefield is going to bring in the Cloak of Pomi, so when outside of melee combat, going to be getting that 60% power recharge rate. In the backside, we are going to have 2 units of the Grand Cannons, 450 range, 267 armor-piercing missile strength, going to be ready to fire here at the front. It looks like the target is going to be the Soul Grinders. So 2 units of Soul Grinders going to be on the front line, 360 range, 396 armor piercing and poison missile strength, making them rather powerful indeed. However, we are also going to be having Grandfather Nurgle. We are going to be having the Plague Father. So Kugarth today is going to be bringing the Pestilence Decay, as well as the Arcane Conduit, Children of Nurgle, the Slime Trail, and then also the Nurgling Infestation. We're also going to be having the Rancid Visitations, Stream of Corruption, and also the Conjugation. The extra abilities of Nurgling, and then also the Orientation. So looking pretty interesting. No healing here for Plague Father, which is a bit of a bold selection, I must say so. He's a massive target, and you've also brought the double Soul Grinders. So no healing here is a rather interesting play. So we're going to be firing over the top. It looks like the targets here are going to be the Grand Cannons. Pretty good choices here. We should be able to hit relatively well. Most of that is going to be anti-infantry, but we could take down a couple models here of the Grand Cannons, and these things look absolutely fantastic. They're going to be fighting on the front. It's going to be a bit of an artillery fight here to begin with. We can see big cannon fire here spreading amongst these Soul Grinders. Charging forward here is going to be the Great Longmars, and this is something I really want to touch on. One thing for my clanmate here, Captain Morgan at DBD, really wants to have these Exalted Plague Bearers forward. So as we charge down here with the Great Longmars, we're going to get a beautiful charge here into the backside. Now, a little bit of a mistake from WWD as well. He does kind of hang around with the Great Longmars a little bit too long. Of course, they do have great charge bonus and weapon strength, but they don't really have enough AP. But if we had the Exalted Plague Bearers a little bit closer here, we would have been able to protect our Soul Grinder in the back. These bad boys pack a load of punch, bucket loads of AP here on those death heads. So we had them just a little bit closer here. We could have done some great damage up against these Soul Grinders. Now we are going to get a Stream of Corruption Overcast down the line. I believe that does a little bit of damage here up against Grandpappy. And we're also going to be firing here with the Soul Grinder. The second one is going to be compromised and it's taken a considerable amount of damage. Now if we did have some healing here with the Fleshy Abundance, we definitely could have gone back up to tip-top shape. But sadly, he's going to be falling rather quickly. But, you know, nevertheless, that's just how it goes. In the back here, we are going to be firing, trying to get on top of the Grand Cannon crews. Looking rather weak here. The infantry is really trying. Lots of lovely damage there. And that could potentially break. Negative 26 down to negative 6. They do stabilize, but they do break. Of course, that artillery is going to be giving some really heavy negatives. So you can see negative 10 there on the leadership. Rather strong indeed. Taking a 5 against the Grand Cannon crews. You can see breaking a couple of models. Those sad oxes going to be falling in the backside. And we can see Grand Cannon still firing amongst the heavily armoured Soul Grinder. Lots of damage for Great Longmars. Not really good at sustained combat here up against the Soul Grinder. They've actually lost quite a few models. 2 here going down and quite a bit of HP. So Grandpappy's going to be firing at the front as well. He actually has 400 range. Great armor piercing and brilliant explosion on combat. You're going to see here, as soon as it hits into contact, boom, big explosion, lots of damage. And then you can see the Grand Cannon crews there really not going to be liking that. Flutting around is going to be the Great Longmars. We're actually going to be moving forward here with the Nurglings. Get a bit of a skip on here. Not too much happens in this middle stage. Just a little bit of firing. A little bit of combat at the side here. Really good. You see WWD does catch open some of the Nurglings on the right-hand side. He's going to be doing some really good work. Bringing it down to half health. Getting a good charge in and then just getting away. That's some really expert play there for sure. So we're going to be firing in the front, Grandpappy plus the Soul Grinder firing to the back here up against the Grand Cannon, down to half health already. We can see the cannon fire coming over the top though, and so much damage here on the cannon crew. Negative 25 leadership, it does stabilize to 13, so it will hold thanks to having the harmony buffs, but it's only just that this backline is going to be holding. We're firing at the front. We can see that the Soul Grinder is going to be trying to juke the best it can. If you can time that, you can see here on the backside, you do actually have a reload time. So reload time is going to be 14.4 seconds. So if you can juke it for 10 seconds, turn and then shoot again, you should be doing pretty well. Charging the front here is going to be the Great Longmire. Looks like it's going to be coming after the Soul Grinder. Pretty good stuff. Maybe a slow here. Curse the Slug is going to be slowing the Great Longmires, and now the Death Heads are in. And look at the damage! Look at the damage of the Death Heads! If you had these Death Heads in the front earlier doors, they're really going to destroy the Great Longmires. And now they're going to be compromising the Soul Grinder again, pinning him in place and preventing him from shooting. Gang Cannon Crews in the back are not going to be able to get back on the counter. I think that is still a glitch in the game. And then this one is still going to be firing, but only just 2 models left here on the battlefield. One big shot from Grandpappy should be able to finish them off. Great Longmire's Death Head still flying over the top. They're going to be down to 530 HP. Negative 18 leadership. We should see a return here, but not too sure. They are going to be able to miss off fire negative 5, so maybe not. Maybe not. In the middle here, we are going to have a Talons of Night, which is going to be catching the backside here of the Festering Stooges. Don't really mind too much. They'll regen, bring their models back. They're rather healthy indeed. But the Nurglings, not so much. In the middle here, Grandpappy is going to be down to 16 ammunition, so doing rather well. And the Soul Grinder just needs to juke. Needs to stay well away here from the Great Longmires. Now, we do have Exalted Plague Bearers nice and close. We could shoot in here. Maybe a little bit of juking here from the bad boys. But we can see, oh, look at them coming in the sky. Oh my god, so much damage. So much damage. This is why you need them a little bit closer earlier on. Just a small mistake there can be rather costly. But looks like we are going to get away with it. In the backside, Grand Cannon's still going to be going here. Get a bit of a skip on. Firing into the front side, really hitting here up against the Soul Grinder. Need a couple of shots here in the back. Can we break it? Negative 14, wavering, and we do break with the Grand Cannons. Bit of a mistake in the front here. We do see the Nurglings get a little bit too far forward, but an extra mistake here. We do actually see some of the Jade Warrior crossbows in these very interesting square boxes. This is really good for artillery pieces with mass explosion damage to do really nice work. They're in a really nice tight box. If it hits in the middle, that's pretty much going to hit all the models. And you'll see here, there's quite a bit of damage that does come to these boxes. Look at the damage there. Just one hit does so much work. And you can see they're going to be breaking left, right, and centre. But they do fire up against the Soul Grinder. He's not looking happy here, I must say so. Talons of the Night here on the pocket of the Exalted Plague Bearers. Really nice stuff. They're too slow to dodge all those spells. But most of the crossbows here are going to be taking quite a bit of damage. Looks like we do get a Rancid Visitation on the pocket here of the Dragon Lord. Actually, Overcast, that gives you more value for Winds of Magic. But the Lord Choice is dead. He does manage to get a summon here off at the end. We are going to get the legendary Stormy Ancestral Warriors. And no, they don't manage to come through. Of course, the Lord Choice dies there, so it is not going to be coming through. I thought there it was just through, but it's like it's not going to be the case. We are going to be firing over the top here with the Exalted Plague Bearers. And then that's going to be a drop for the Grand Cathay player. So you can see there a very interesting matchup. I really like this here from Nurgle. This is something that could really change the matchup between Grand Cathay. I played a couple of land battles with Nurgle up against Ogre Kingdoms and Grand Cathay, and it just seemed a little bit lost. But there was quite a few mistakes there that I see quite a few new players making. The tight box builds here from the Jade Warriors certainly got those damaged quite a bit, and they're the main DPS here alongside the Grand Cannons. 650 and of course 2,300 from one. The other's getting 64, 83, 150 and 140. I think they put a bit of a pedal onto the metal there. They maybe could have got forward here with the Jade Warriors. But we do see 1.5, 160 there for the Soul Grinders, 4,090 for the Kugarth Plague Father, doing it rather well indeed. 740, 500 and 430 for the Festering Stooges. So a very interesting battle. We didn't really get too much here. 550 and 340 there for the Great Longmires. I think they really needed to wait. We have, of course, had lots of range in the back, and this range build from Nurgle maybe has some promise here up against Grand Cathay. I'd love to know all your thoughts and opinions, so do leave a comment down below with all of those, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, and other than that, I've been your boy Logic. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all very soon.